Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I had a really fun little ink discovery last night. I was writing with a new sample, this new to me anyway, this Vinta ink. It's from the Hello Rain series and it's called Arnibal. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a beautiful ink. And I was enjoying the writing and I was thinking, maybe I need to get a bottle of this. Maybe this would be a good one to get a full size and not just limit it to the experience of writing with the sample. Well, as I was doing that, a light bulb went bing above my head like in the cartoons, and I was thinking, I wonder if it's like my Diamine Winter Spice. And they're not exactly alike, but they're very much alike. So I was glad that I put two and two together, because sometimes I have been known to, on occasion, duplicate the inks that I have, not realizing how similar one bottle was to the other. But let me show you what I discovered and what my feelings were about this. So first of all, look at the chromatography. Let's move these out of the way. This is the Arnibal, the Vinta ink, and this is Diamine Winter Spice. They're both a brown base. The Arnibal has gold shimmer, and I noticed a green sheen appearing. I think you can see it. And Diamine is also a brown base, but it has this wonderful blue shimmer, which is so striking, I think, and as well as having a green sheen within the ink. I bought this maybe a year ago. I first saw it on Marcy Mee's YouTube channel. I think she got it in one of the ink vents, and I just love the various layers, and it just looks so amazing in the swatching, as does the Arnibal. I was writing with the Arnibal in my TWSBI Heat. Isn't this pen case cute? My friend Kim made that for me. Anyway, I was writing and just loving that, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to ink up the other one. These are both broad nib. They're both TWSBI's. One's just an Eco Tea, but shouldn't affect the writing experience. It's kind of fun that they're similar in color, and the two pen case, it just works marvelously. Anyway, I was just floored though at how similar these were. So the Winter Spice, there's just a little more of this brown color, and it seems like I tried to keep them in the same amount of time, like about 30 seconds in the water once I did the little line. But this seems to have just a little bit lighter of a pink. And this has a, to me, it looks like a very light pink, maybe a mauve. So the only thing primarily, though, that's really different is you have the gold shimmer here and the blue shimmer here. But I saw that and I'm like, I am super glad I didn't just order this ink at the drop of a hat. I really am glad I did this, and I can process this a little bit more. This paper here is Cosmo Air Light, and the writing, I think, let me double check. Yep, the writing on this is fabulous with these pen and ink combinations. If you can see the, you'll have to take my word for it, but the shimmer, it's so hard to catch the sun on a camera, isn't it, sometimes? But this is a very, just a brown ink with great gold shimmer. I kind of took notes here. It reminds me a bit of a darker form of Cocoa Shimmer or of Golden Sands, except that it's a brown base, but the saturation of the shimmer is fabulous. When I first swatched these, the gold on the Arnibal just like made me think of like actual gold, or like flecks or little fish in the water. It's just like swimming around in there, just dazzling. This goes on a little bit drier, but writing with them both, very much a wet ink, very smooth. And sometimes, depending on the paper, I've noticed the Diamine Winter Spice to not always show forth those extra qualities where I get more brown. Today when I was experimenting further with this, I was writing on Sanzen Tomoe River, and I will show you that. But the swatching was gorgeous, but I did not like the writing, and it just shows you again that it just depends on the variables: pen, paper, ink. So whereas the swatching looked great, I didn't like the writing on Sanzen at all. And I am using that quite a bit these days in my daily scripture writing and Bible study notes. So I'm liking the paper okay, but some of them just don't work on it, and vice versa, or whatever mix you have. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. In this writing here, I was getting a ton of the blue. I don't know if you can see that on this word dimension and the word more. So it also kind of depends on how the light's hitting it, but it's pretty cool. Very, very neat. Almost like just crazy where you're getting very little brown in this word chromatography and a lot of the blue and the green. So it's really a fun couple of inks. You might ask, well, am I going to order this? I'm still thinking about it, but I've always liked brown. Even as a young girl, I was drawn to shades of brown. I guess you could say maybe I like earthy colors. Brown is like dirt. I don't know. I've never been too into bright, cheery colors. I like more subdued colors. I like lots of colors, but those are colors that, anyway, I feel kind of more at home with, you might say. Anyway, I've probably said that about 3,000 times before. Let's look at, if I can find it, because I just redid my ink book here. Here we go. Here is the huge swatch of these colors. I got a few too many drops down, so I just kept spreading it, but can you see that? This is the Winter Spice this time on the top. It's reversed over here. It reminds me kind of peacock feathers, but it's so amazing. It's so gorgeous. And you can see the gold shimmer here and more of the green sheen. I don't remember reading on Van Ness's website that it had a green sheen, so that was a fun surprise. I may just have missed it. This base, well, they're both pretty much a brown base, obviously, with just a slight difference in darkness. And on the paper, depending on the paper, one seems to be more gold leaning and one seems to be more of a pinkish leaning brown. But that aside, gorgeous swatching, but I didn't like writing with it. So when I was writing in my other notebook, I just felt like it was dry, and I didn't feel like the paper didn't seem to show the attributes as well as the Cosmo Air Light. This is amazing, but I didn't like writing with it quite as much with this paper. This is my new ink setup. I have been reorganizing everything. I guess it's that spring cleaning mode. This was a notebook I was kind of thinking I might try to sell, but it seems to be a good match for now for most of my ink swatching books. Side note there, in case you're interested. Now let's take a look at the Regalia and B7 Natural. Look at the shimmer. It was so weird. This was such a heavy shimmer. It must have just been recently agitated, but I started to swatch it with a Q-tip, and you can see these spots where it just didn't stick. It just pulled away from that, like off to the side. Kind of looks like a profile, doesn't it, of a cartoon guy or something. Lots of green sheening there. So neat. I might just have to get it. It's very similar, like I said, to Golden Sands, which my son just got me for Christmas. And it reminds me of Queenstown, what is it called? Gold mine, in a different base, but with that wonderful saturated shimmer. It just might be worth having. It's like essentially shimmer writing with brown underneath. Thought that was funny, though. I'm guessing this maybe behaves something like the Cosmo Air was a little bit infamous for, where finger oils would cause the ink to not quite stick to the paper. That was just funny to watch. So I was like, nope, not going there. And then here, so much of the blue is showing forward. The writing here on this white regalia, this seems to be more pink leaning to me, more like a ginger color, or like it makes me kind of think of gingerbread, where this just seems more of a basic brown. Where this is really faint, I don't like that washed out brown look, but wow, isn't that fascinating? Oh my goodness. So pretty. Winter Spice doesn't sound like a ink for April, but I just really wanted to compare, and sometimes I just need the variety. I just want to try something new, even though I might be enjoying my currently inked. Last but not least is a glimpse of this on the B7 Natural. This is my go-to paper for journaling currently. I get my paper from Paper Penguin Co. If you need to find paper like this, you can get it there. The writing here, at first it was just a little bit more brown, and then the shimmer showed up, or maybe vice versa. I can't remember if I went left to right or right to left. I am left-handed, so I don't know, but I do those scribbles probably from top to bottom. And there you can see a lot of the blue. I made little hearts just to get some more ink saturation, and both of those are showing shimmer and sheen. The writing is just so gold-based. Maybe not based, but it's like consistent, and so much of it, so abundant. But I love the blue. I just love the extra aspect of that. I'm glad that I have this bottle, and it seems to be working nicely in my TWSBIs. So that was just a fun experiment. So amazed at how close those chromatographies were, and yet, isn't this interesting? They turn out quite different for all their similarities. Really fun little inky experiment there. And then I want to share with you very briefly this sweet surprise I received in the mail today. It came in a package from my friend Myra, and she told me she was going to send it, but I wasn't expecting it. She just mentioned, I thought, oh, that's very nice. And today it came, and it's a cross, let's see, it's new to me, Cross Century, I think it was called. It's in a medium nib. It says here, I just noticed Cross made in the USA. She said it was vintage, so I don't know what era, but I'm wondering maybe like 70s or 80s, which is weird to say that's vintage because I was alive and well during those eras, and I don't quite feel vintage yet. But so anyway, this is a medium nib. Oh, I wanted to show you. I when I first got it, I opened it up. Let's see if I can do it. Oh yeah, it unscrews. It doesn't pull. And the cartridge or the converter wasn't in there, and I was like, okay, I need to find out if it takes a cartridge or how I would need to fill that. And then lo and behold, I got the brilliant idea of lifting up the lid, and was so surprised to see all this paperwork here. At one time, this is empty now, but I'm guessing that, yeah, because there's like a little ink stain in the very bottom and right here. There were blue cartridges in there. Blau Schwarz. Schwarz? That's my German. Okay, somebody that speaks German, tell me how to say that. Anyway, it has the little booklet, and it had the converter right here. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I thought a black ink in this black pen. She said it was black, but I'm almost feeling like it looks like a midnight blue. Anyway, I thought classic black ink would be a fun color to have in this pen. It's got the little dot up here. Don't know if that's, I guess it's just a little color. It's a little bit hard to tell exactly because this lamp is creating such a glare on there. Nice gold tone bottom. It does not screw. It just opens like that. And I'm liking a pen like this when I'm writing a lot or needing to pause in my writing. I can put the cap on easily rather than twisting. But let's just go ahead and write. Oh, I had the name wrong. It's Across Classic Century. I just found my notes. And it is a medium. We have the Takisumi in there. It's really smooth. It's really a wet, flowing nib. And it's surprising, isn't it? Because it looks like such a fine type of medium. And it gives such a generous, smooth line. So I'm super, super happy to have this. Thank you, Myra. Very generous gift of you. In her package, she also enclosed a letter and a very sweet little prayer that she wrote for me. So I won't read that, but it was really a very kind gesture, and I really appreciate that. Well, that's all for now. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.